here with Elliot from Great British Chefs. Hello Elliot.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about the principles of wine and food matching using two dishes as examples. We have a lovely canapé which is prunes and gorgonzola wrapped in pancetta, and then we're going to be following up with lamb and ratatouille. Elliot's going to talk to us a little about the food, and then we're both going to talk about which wines might match these dishes, as well as your classic and not so classic wine and food matches.
Great, fantastic, really excited about this. It's a simple and diverse canapé. It can be used sort of before the meal. If you leave out the pancetta, it can be used sort of as a pre-dessert if you like, before you actually have your dessert itself. And easy to prepare in advance for your guests.
So we're looking at the main ingredients here. We've got the prunes and the cheese and the pancetta. So I guess we always start with those when we're trying to match a wine, right? Yes,
so these are the strongest flavours. And what I've done here is just, I've softened these a little bit. So I brought them to the boil and shut them off for 5 minutes and left them in the water. And what that's done is just soften them up a bit, and it's just allowed me to just open them up a touch more. And that's going to be the little cavity for the blue cheese.
So we're talking sweetness and saltiness really.
Yes.
So, yeah, so I thought that wines that might go with that particularly well. Salt always needs sweetness as a foil. So something off dry rather than very sweet, if we're going for a starter, that is. But you did say that we could have it after the meal as well.
Yes.
In which case, maybe we could try the late harvest, the sticky wine.
Yeah.
They both might go with them. So we've got the sweetness that might go with the salt. And I guess it's always important to remember that if there is sweetness in the flavour, like there is with the prunes, that we should have something that's as sweet or sweeter.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Okay, so we're complementing a lot here.
Yes.
Okay, lovely. So just before you continue to help me, thank you very much. I've just picked up a nice thin piece of pancetta, and it's just as simple as wrapping it. What we'll do is we'll wrap it over the cheese, and that's just going to hold it in place, because we are going to colour these in the pan a little bit later, and we don't want the cheese to sort of melt and fall out. So you can do this on the board as well, so if you want to place it on the board, roll it up nice and neat, and I'm just going to use little cocktail sticks or toothpicks and just come through the end of the seam there where you've put the last piece of pancetta. That's it.
Wonderful.
These ingredients here are from Bruno Lebey's recipe on Great British Chefs.
Well, I was originally thinking Riesling, just for its high acidity and, well, an off-dry Riesling, so we had that sprinkling of sugar. But because of the pancetta, I think we need something a little bit more, well, something more weighty, which is why I thought maybe a Riesling from Alsace, because that style tends to be more weighty, and this particular one is a little bit smoky as well. So I thought that might actually complement really nicely all the ingredients in this dish.
Fantastic. So pans on a medium heat, just kind of pop them straight in, give them a little bit of colour, turn them over, and then pop them out again. Once again, we're just going to reheat them in the oven for a couple of minutes when we're actually ready to serve them. Sort of got a nice sizzle there. We don't need too much oil because you've got all the fat in the pancetta, which is going to sort of render down slightly as well. So I've just pulled these out the oven. They're nice and warm. They're not too hot. We've just softened the cheese and the fruit a little bit more to make sure that our guests are happy with the temperature that we're serving them at. I'm sure they're not fussy though. We're going to garnish the plate with a few walnuts. These have just been roasted lightly and sort of crushed. And this is a bit of earthiness, and we know nuts and cheese are very good friends. So the celery adds a bit of earthiness, and as you can see, a nice bit of colour. So we're going to need something to wash it down with. What's that going to be?
Absolutely. Well, a Riesling from Alsace, and that's because, just to reiterate, salty food loves acidity and it loves sweetness. And seeing as we have both here with the prunes and the gorgonzola, I figured that we'd need a grape with high acidity, so a Riesling, something off dry, as this one is, but also something with a bit more weight, as I said, because of the pancetta. That's absolutely gorgeous. Let's have another drink and see if it works.
Really good, really good.
Yay! It does. It balances everything up, doesn't it? I think the sweetness with the salt, and it doesn't overpower, but it complements really nicely.
Yeah, it feels refreshing. Yeah. Great, fantastic. Well, we can move on to the lamb now. I'm really excited about this. A few more other elements. Let's get cracking.
Absolutely, cheers.